tell me what the first the answer to the first one is?
Pawn to c4.
Pawn to c4. Yes, that is correct. And why is that correct? Can anyone tell me?
I know. So you basically, when you put the pawn, the knight has to escape. It obviously has to escape. A knight is a valuable one. Okay? If it does not escape, we get the knight. Or else, if the knight escapes, we put it forward, and then the bishop is blocked by its own pawn, and it can only move one way, but even if it moves that way, it's still going to get captured. By the way it still was, at that time, it's still, even if it did not move, it's going to get captured.
That's correct. Okay. Move on to number 2. It's black to play here. Trying to check.
Knight to f2.
Knight to f2. Okay, that's the first move. Okay, what are you going to do after that? Okay, so you go knight to f2. Then I'm going to move my king to g1. Then what are you going to do?
And I'm going to move my knight to d3.
d3? I don't think d3.
Or g4.
No, not g4.
Queen to g1 is checkmate.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. The king can capture it.
Yeah, and it's black to move, by the way. It's not white to move. It's black. So you were correct. Knight f2 check, and then king to g1. But then the next move is actually going to be knight to h3. Because since the king is here, it's going to put the king in double check because of the queen and the knight. Which means that if the king moves here, he's going to get checkmated. So that means king has to move here. And then you go queen g1, which the knight is going to be here protecting the queen, which means it's checkmate.
I can't hear you properly. You're echoing and going so quiet.
Yeah. Your voice is breaking up.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Can you hear me good now?
Not really.
Okay, let me see.
Someone's mic is making the audio echo, and then you're just going silent for a few seconds.
Yeah, I think we're gonna rejoin the meeting. So 1 second, everyone.
Can you hear me now?
Still breaking up.
Well, I don't know what's the problem. I left, I came back, I turned my Wi-Fi on and on, and on and off. I don't know what the problem could be. Maybe it could be, how many people are having the issue? Is it everybody or just you?
I have the same issue.
Too.
Me too. Me too.
But yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay.
Me too. Wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking What are we talking about?
Okay, so can you hear me now? Okay, what exactly is the problem? Is it like breaking up or is it echoing?
It's echoing and then breaking up for a few seconds.
Oh, I think that if whoever's not using the actual app, maybe it might be for them because I think I had that problem before. Maybe like while using it on Safari in my Chromebook.
Yeah, there could be like if you're joining on two devices, just leave one because that could cause some echo and that's not good. So yeah, if you're on two devices, just yeah. Okay, so can you see my screen though? Can you see my screen? Okay. So for number 2, like we said, we go knight f2, check, right? King moves over, knight h3 check, putting the king in double check. King moves over, queen to g1 check, rook takes, and then knight to f2, which would be smother mate because the king it cannot.
Moderate checkmate.
Okay, so for number 3, does anybody have an answer for number 3?
Knight to d6 checkmate.
Knight to d6 checkmate. Yep, that is correct.
Wait, can you go back for a second for that one? Like, what if couldn't the other knight take it?
No, he didn't say knight to f6. He said knight to d6. Knight to right here.
Oh yeah, I actually thought
The
when I
pawn-
did it, it was the other way. I thought it was like I thought it was a knight.
Yeah.
That
Don't
was-
take the knight because then it's just bad for you because then he takes with his and then he's.
But then the pawn can kill it.
Yeah.
Actually, the queen will
The
take
pawn's
the queen.
pinned.
The queen's like pushing it's like sticking the pawn right there. You can't move the pawn since the queen like
That's called
in the same row as like what do we say as the like the so if you move it the queen's gonna be the king's gonna be exposed to the queen, right? So you can't really take it.
Yes, I know. It's called a pin. A pin. The queen is pinning the pawn to the king. Okay. So number 4. What did you guys get for number 4?
Q captures g7.
Queen takes g7 for white. No, that's not right.
No, it's rook to d3.
You mean d6? Rook to here, right? You meant rook here?
Yeah.
I don't. Oh wait, no, never mind. You are right. It is rook to what do you call it? It is rook to d3 right here. Yeah, this is right. Because what happens here is if the queen takes, then you checkmate. But then the queen has to move, right? And then when the queen moves, you put your rook here. You put your rook.
Wait, wouldn't the pawn take the like rook? Not the. I'm not saying like the. I like wouldn't the pawn take the rook?
Where pawn can't take the rook anywhere.
Like, wait. So you moved. So you took the bishop, the rook, right?
D3.
Took the bishop. Wait, I'm asking a question. You took a rook with the. You took the what is it, bishop with the rook, right?
No, I did not.
You took the bishop with the rook, right?
No, I didn't. No.
Like, can you show that what move it is in?
It's right here. Rook to D3. Right here. D3 goes right here to attack the queen.
Oh, I thought you said it took the bishop. Wait, I know. Why? Oh, I can move. I guess I can still move, right?
Yeah.
It can still move, right?
What would happen is, see, the queen has to stay on this diagonal to stop checkmate, right? So if I move here, then the queen is going to come here, which is the only remaining square. But then what you're going to do is you're going to move your rook to here, which attacks this square and this square at the same time. And then the white queen does not have any, or the black queen has no more squares to go. So that means the black queen has to go, black queen has to attempt to trade queens. Either he has to take the rook and then you get mated, or you have to or you have to go back here and lose your queen, and it's just a loss. So yeah, you could do that, or I think the correct move for this puzzle is actually rook to here.
Yeah, that was. I was gonna say that skeever the queen to the rook.
Rook to C1 because that works. Because if you take with the
Skeever it.
mates, and then if you don't take, you move here. Then you could then you can take his rook, and so you could force a checkmate, or you could win. But you could win as well. You could win a rook. So there are two ways to play that puzzle. And the last one, number 5. How are you going to play number 5?
I think I know. I did not do this one, but I know. I think I might know what you basically do. I know you have to get the knight to the like square next in front of the what is it, in front of the pawn that's in front of the black rook. You also need the rook to be all the way to the side, by in that same row.
Yeah,
that's what I know so far.
That's correct. So what you're going to do is you're going to move your knight here, which is check. It would be smother mate, but that's not correct because there's a pawn takes, right? But then once the pawn takes, your rook over here is going to come all the way over here to this last file over here, and it'll be checkmate. Because the king, there'll be a pawn here and a rook, so the king doesn't have any squares to escape. So that means the king loses, and then it's checkmate because the rook stops checkmate. The rook gets you. So yeah. Okay. So now that we have that done, we are going to do some of this. Okay. So now we're going to see how to force a stalemate. So our goal is to force.
What's a stalemate? Well, how can you force a stalemate? Like, that's not possible, right?
Is when a king can't move anywhere.
Here, let me explain.
How can you ever force a stalemate? Like,
I'm about to explain that. So,
just asking this position, how can you like force a stalemate?
I'm about to explain that. Okay, so how you would do that is basically black is losing right now, right? Because white is up a pawn. So what you want to do is you always want to keep your king in front of his king or pawn. So watch how it moves. So white moves first, right? Black, watch. He always has his king in front of his king, right? And then king moves up, and then his king moves up, right? Now this is called opposition, which means the kings are right in front of each other, but black gave white opposition, which means now white has to move his pawn or move his king. You don't want to move your king because that way black gets closer to your pawn, you could lose your pawn. So what you want to do is move your pawn, right? Forcing a check as well. Then you want to keep the opposition. So king here. This is a stalemate scenario. If this happens, and black is then if this happens, it's guaranteed. So then you you can go there or there. Really, in my opinion, you could also go here, right? And then Here, right, check, here, yeah, that'd be stalemate. The blocking, it's black's turn, black can't move, but there is no check, so that is stalemate. Okay, so now we're going to do under promoting. So under promoting is basically where we promote to a lower queen, right? Usually whenever you promote, you want to promote to a queen, but in some scenarios, you also promote to a lower material piece to win. So here, black is about to queen, so is white, right? It's white to move, but if white queens, then black queens, checkmate. So you don't want that to happen. You have to try and force yourself to
So are you gonna promote it to a knight?
No, I'm gonna explain it, okay? So I'm gonna explain it. So watch this. Knight e4 check, right? Our first move is to go knight e4 check. What this does is it keeps the king in check, so black has to move, and he can't force he can't promote, right? Now moves king over. Again, check, right? You want to keep checking the king. Now the king goes back to threaten checkmate. But now you go knight here. What this does is you stop the queening, right? So if you think it's over, it's not, because now bishop goes here. What this happens is if black king goes here, it's checkmate, because the bishop will got to discover checkmate on the king. So you don't want that to happen either. So now you have to limit the bishop squares on the diagonal, like we did with that queen on the other in the other puzzle. So remember f4, right? F4 stops the bishop from being on that square. So he moves bishop there, right? So now we can move, or now we promote to a knight. Look, we could have promoted to a queen, but then we would have lost. So we promote to a knight instead, and that way, that attacks the bishop. Bishop goes down, right? Now you push the pawn. Now here, yes, he can move his king, but then that doesn't work, because then you push your pawn to f6, and it blocks the checkmate. So it's worthless, right? We don't, and then black goes here, threatening checkmate again. And now you can sacrifice your bishop, right? Right here, you can sacrifice your bishop. What this does is it draws the bishop away. That's the last square in the bishop's diagonal. Now, I had a feeling that you could go here, but what that does is that loses. So never mind. Yeah, this is the only thing you can do. And now after this, bishop takes, right? b7. And now if bishop goes back here, you can promote to a bishop. Now, you think that promoting to a queen would do the same thing, but it actually wouldn't, because watch what happens if you promote to a queen. White can go there, or black can go there and check you, right? And now you take the bishop. And then he can promote to a queen and check you. But then when you take with the knight, it's stalemate. So we don't want stalemate, right? We want checkmate. So instead of doing that, we should promote to a bishop. So now when we promote to a bishop, right, we were here, promote to a bishop, and then bishop takes. Then we go knight c7 to block off his bishop, and his bishop takes again. We go e7. Now we can promote, because his black bishop can't stop it. Now he goes here to threaten checkmate. Now we move for a rook. Now we can't promote to a queen again. Watch what happens when you promote to a queen. Check again, same process. Then queen takes, right? And then queen. Right now it's stalemate again. The same process and stalemate, right? So we don't want that. So instead we promote to a rook. Now bishop goes here, rook there, bishop g7, and now f6. And now the threat is over, right? The bishop you cannot checkmate anymore. And so you basically win, because you have a huge material advantage. And you can easily win. And you're already going to promote that pawn too. Okay. So does anybody have any questions?
No, but I really wish black won. Like, I feel bad for black. I wish black.
Yeah. Okay. So this is about queen sacrifice. So is this a tactic, right? So can anybody find is this white to move, or is it black to move? Okay, no, it's actually okay. So we are black and we are trying to win. Okay? We are black and we're trying to win. So find a move that results in, and it's gonna have a queen capture in it. The first move may not necessarily be a queen capture, but try and find a move that results in a queen capture, queen sacrifice.
Is it knight f2?
Yes, knight takes f2. All right, so knight takes f2, right? What this does is it opens up the king, right? If the king doesn't take, right, the king goes here, then just pretty much loses, right? You don't want to just give up a free piece. So the king's going to take. Or you could go rook here. That's a better, never mind. Yeah, rook here. And then now you can protect your knight. You want to protect your knight.
And then pawn to g.
And then, but white wants to capture the knight. And now you can take this. You can watch. The queen on b7 takes the pawn on g2. Sacrifice. King's forced to take. And now you go bishop check here. Now king only has one square on d1. And now you can go knight h3, and it's checkmate. Okay. Okay, so now this is an exchange sacrifice. What that means is you sacrifice something of a higher piece for a lower piece, but then in the end, like in the long run, where like it's a series of moves, and in the end, you're actually up material, or you have positional advantage. So someone find a move that wins. It's a sacrifice, exchange sacrifice.
Knight to e4.
Knight to e4 is a goal, but it's not a sacrifice. So knight to e4 is going to be a move, but it's not the current move.
Rook to f6.
Yep, that is correct. Because what happens is rook to f6, right? So now you don't want to give up a free knight. So then you do that. Now what happens is you can fork, right? You fork the king and rook. King moves up, and then now you take the rook. And now you're just up a knight and winning. So it's pretty much game over. Okay. So now here's some stuff about hanging pieces. Okay. So hanging pieces is pretty much a discovered attack. It's not really anything that special. Right? So black to move, king takes pawn, right? C5 check. It's a check. King takes pawn, and then bishop takes you. So it's not really a big deal. It's just like a discovered attack, except you kind of sacrifice some pieces in order to do it. Usually discovered attacks don't like sacrifice pieces, but this one you sacrifice 2 pawns in order to get that. And the final one is support mate. Support mate is basically a checkmate where you have a piece protecting a piece. That's like your usual checkmate. It's not really that special like the other one. It's just really a normal checkmate. But it happens when like it's being supported from something other than itself, right? Right. Usually we have a checkmate. It's from a distance, but here it's like a direct checkmate. And when it's direct, you have to have a supporting piece, or else you.
Wait, so would Scholar's Mate be an example of support mate?
Yes, that's correct. Okay. So now we are going to do some tactics, I guess. We can do some tactics. You guys pick one. Pick which one you want to do. We have some more down here. Yeah, you know what? I'll just go in backwards order. We learned about this in the last class, right? Okay. So, can you guys see the thing, or is it a bit too small?
It's too small.
A bit too small.
Okay, let me make it. Can I make this bigger here? No, I can't do that.
Do Control plus on your keyboard.
I know. Okay. Oh, gosh. Is that better now?
Yeah, it's better.
So pretty much, you're trying. This is a Zwishen song, which basically means it's an in-between move, right? We learned about this last class or the class before that. It basically means like look, Queen E5 is our first move, right? White mistakenly thinks that black can't capture the queen, due to the mating threat of Rook C8 checkmate, right? But what can happen is black can check him, right? That way, the king has to move, and now rook takes e5. Now you just lost the queen, right? You get the rook, but then queen can come back here, and then because the queen stops the checkmate all the way over here. So that's like stops the immediate threat, and it saves your. Okay, so let's go up. Okay, so this is a Zugzwang. Zugzwang is basically where all the moves are bad, and whichever move you make is a losing move. So our first move is going to be for white, to trap the king even more. Now rook can go to a4, threatening the pawn. White is now in Zugzwang, where every white move will lose immediately. Moving the bishop loses the rook. Moving the rook loses either the bishop or the rook. Moving the rook, you lose the bishop or the rook. And if rook g4, and but you see, you can go rook g4. But
What about moving the king?
yeah, but if you move the king, then
Wait, is it white to play?
yeah, it's white to play.
Could we put rook e5? Would anything happen?
Yeah, if you go here, pawn takes.
Oh, I forgot there's a pawn. I cannot see that pawn for a second.
So that doesn't work. And if moving the king will also lose you the bishop or the rook. So then rook goes here, right? He loses the bishop. He doesn't want to lose the rook, so he loses the bishop, right? And then black bishop, and then black. Simple. Now this is an X-ray attack. X-ray attack was like 2 classes ago, I think. It's when a piece is guarding a piece through another piece. Your piece is guarding another piece through your opponent's.
You went completely silent. I cannot hear anything you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
You're still very quiet. My volume's on full.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay, I just got closer to the mic. Okay, so what I can do is, okay. You know what? I'll just speak louder. So can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's gonna happen is black is gonna move to king h8, right? Before he wasn't on king h8, now he goes to king h8, and then rook can take b7 because what happens is it's the X-ray, right? There was a bishop here. I can take here. It's X-ray because the queen is guarding the rook through his queen, and the queen can't. The pawn is just and his knights also. So this is a weak back rank. That means that you're gonna back rank checkmate them. So black to move, f7. Which is just a stalling move, I guess. Oh, or no, yeah, protects the pawn right here. Well, white is threatening this pawn, or black's threatening. Yeah, white's threatening this pawn. So then rook comes down here to stop him from taking it. But now you can take queen here. So sacrifice the queen. Because if the queen takes, because now look, if the queen takes, you can checkmate down here. And then if queen blocks, rook takes, rook blocks, rook takes, and it's checkmate. Okay. So this is a unsound sacrifice. That's basically when you try and sacrifice something that you think you'll get material, but you actually won't. So it's a little bit of a loss. So black thinks he can win the rook by going bishop takes h3. But what happens is king can take the bishop, right? That's what he wants. Now rook takes. But now what he missed was the bishop all the way over here guards the rook. And he didn't see that, so now he loses. So it's basically you miss something. And this is, okay, here's a trapped piece tactic. We did some of these before. It's where you're gonna trap the piece. I'm pretty sure it's trapping the queen. Yeah. So knight d7. It's just a stalling move, right? White's trying to attack the pawn here so that he can free up some squares his first queen. You go rook d4. Now what rook d4 is, it isolates all these squares, all this. Now black only has actually no more squares to go. Yeah, no more squares. Yeah. So then queen has to take d4. It's his best option. And bishop takes d4. So yeah. Okay. Here's a skewer tactic. Skewer. Do you guys remember what a skewer is?
Yeah.
What's a skewer?
Yeah.
When you're like checking someone, and then like when they move, you get the piece behind that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much.
Or gonna be a check though, like it could be anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a check. It could be like a
Doesn't
queen and a
have
rook.
to be a check.
It could be like a queen and a rook, and you're using a bishop, right? That could also be.
Is it like a higher worth piece
It's
before?
the opposite. It's the opposite of a queen, right?
Yeah, it's a higher worth piece before a lower worth piece.
Yes, that's correct. So queen takes f3, wins the knight, but it's a big mistake because that lines up the king and the queen. Now queen f8, king e5, and queen takes f, wins. I don't think you guys need to know what simplification is. I'm pretty sure you already know. It's basically like trying to trade everything off the board to make it easier for one side. So bishop c4, right, to try and trade off so that it makes it easier for self. Takes, b takes. Yeah, but now what happens is, oh wait, no, never mind. He had to go there. Right? It was black's attempt at making it easier because he's down a pawn on this side. What black will get there first because he's 1, 2, 3 moves away, opposed to white being 1, 2, 3. But it's black's turn. So what will happen is one here, 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 and now he can't protect his pawn. He has to go here, and then boom. It's this pawn, and then he'll lose this pawn too. Right? And then now you have 3 pawns coming down opposed to nothing. I would probably even get checkmated more than getting queen. Okay. So king h8, queen takes h7, queen sacrifice. Right? It's threatening checkmate. King takes h7, and then rook h5. Because that's a double rook. Okay. So here's the overloading. Overloading means when a piece is doing too much, you can take advantage of that. So the rook here goes down here. But now what happens is this rook is guarding here and this rook is guarding here and here. So then a2, trying to promote. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah. He's going to go a2, trying to promote. Because he has to stop promotion, but also rook. Because if he takes the rook, then he promotes. So rook takes a2, then rook takes e2. Alright, so we're going to review right now some type of checkmates. There are multiple types of checkmates. These are pretty rare, but there are some. This is called the Vukovic mate. So rook f4. this is pretty much like a rook knight pawn situation. It's like a rook knight pawn checkmate. Think of it like that. Here is a triangle. Yeah. I mean, it's not too hard. It's like a triangle here to here to here. It's like a triangle. You can't escape in any way possible. And then you just win. Right, here's a swallow. Yeah, these are all okay. Here's a smother. Yeah, knight h4, queen checks g1, rook takes, and then that's the most common. Right, it's always that same process where you sacrifice your queen at the edge with a knight protecting it, and
No.
so, okay, we'll see a checkmate that's delivered by a pawn. Rook c2, threatening the bishop. F4 checkmate. Because king can't go here because the bishop. These two squares are eliminated. Can't go here because the pawn can't go back because this checkmate. Here's the opera mate. Yeah, it's a rook and a bishop. Yeah, it's called the opera. When the rook is like on because when there's a rook and a bishop check, it takes out every square except for the square like diagonal away from the rook. But then when there's another piece there, it can't move there, so it's checkmate. Here's the Morpheus. Rook takes e3. Okay, here's it's like a check, right? Has to block here, and then you lollies mate. Ah, it's just easy. King, queen, king, pawn.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's just a double rank.
Mm.
Kill box. Here's the hook mate. Yeah, king h8, rook d8 check, king g7, rook g8 check. Yeah, so you're basically it's like a hook. So you're basically trying to get the king to come up here, right? You go here, and you get the king. The Greco's mate. Yeah, it's like an isolated. The escalator. I think there's two ways you show do it. Or three check, d2, d1 check. Yeah, so you saw right. The queen comes here, and then king goes down, and then the queen goes all the way down. The king goes back up, and then the queen comes up one, and it's checkmate. And I think there's another. King d3, check, over, check, check. Yeah, and then it just goes back all the way down. And then it's just, she just to go down, and then it gets checkmated. Checkmate. Yeah, it's a cool mate. It's rare. So, yeah, right here, where you can block off the squares from bishop protection. Okay, so here's a double bishop mate. Damiano's bishop. Okay, so here's the Arabian mate. So this is a pretty common one. It's where you checkmate with a knight and a bishop. Six, rook b6, king e7, knight c6. Huh. I always thought the Arabian mate was a knight and bishop. I guess it's knight and rook. Anastasia's mate.
Checkmate.
Interference. Yeah, we run over this. Hanging piece. Is a hanging piece tactic. Rook d6. Right, take the rook. Queen takes d6. Yeah, I just messed up. Here's a fork. Right, knight forks. Both this and that. King g1 takes c5. Queen d5 check. Forks the king and the rook. Same thing here. c2, 4, 2, 3.
When are we gonna do the tournament?
That's gonna come up in about
5.
5:10. About 5:10.
Oh.
So some more tactics here. Have you ever heard of a desperado tactic?
No.
Okay. Well, a desperado tactic is kind of like a Zwischenzone tactic. But how it works is it's basically where a piece is trapped, right? It's gonna lose itself regardless. But what it does is it can take out an enemy piece along the way. So watch. C6. Alright. So bishop a6. C6, C6, C6. So look, now what happens is this pawn is now passed, right? You have a huge advantage here. He has doubled isolated pawns here. So right now white is winning. Material is equal, but positionally white's winning. White also has a threat on this pawn, has good squares for the knights to go to, right? So it's good. F5. F5. H5. Knight takes E6 check, right? That's a check from the bishop all the way over here. And now the knight's threatening both that and that. Then G5. Now en passant check. It's actually checkmate. Oh, wow, yeah. The en passant is a checkmate. Okay, so here are some. Okay, so here's a mate in 2. Find the mate in 2. That's right there. Here, let me switch up. Let me find you guys some. Okay, so find the mate in 2. It's white to move, and try and find the mate in 2. You guys have an answer?
Wait, would it be bishop takes g6 and then queen takes h7?
No, I don't see what that does because if bishop takes here, then pawn takes here, king takes here, king takes here. It's just a loss. Queen to h7 immediately. Yes, that's correct. Queen to h7 immediately is correct. Because why? Because king takes, right? Now rook here, checkmate. Because can I try to see clearly? There's a rook here. It's checking the king. Pawn cannot take because there's a bishop here that will be pinning. Okay, find the mate in two.
Mate.
Does anybody have an answer for this one?
Yes. First you go. First you go to bishop to c7.
C7, you can't do that. You can go bishop to b7.
Yeah, I mean b7. B7.
So you say bishop to here, right?
Yeah. There.
No, that's incorrect.
I know what move it is.
Is it bishop c6?
Bishop c6, so bishop to here.
Actually, I think I know the move.
It can't be bishop c6 because then pawn just takes. Oh, wait, I see what you're saying. No, I don't think that works. Yeah, I don't think that works.
I think I know the answer. You first move queen to like right next to the black king, and then we move the knight to where the queen was like before we move it.
Is it bishop h3?
Wait, can I say I know the answer? I think you move queen c8.
Oh yeah, bishop h3.
Queen c8 and then knight d7.
Queen c8. Okay, so queen c8 is the correct move first. Yeah, and then knight d7.
Checkmate.
No, let's go for another. We'll just keep doing this until it's 5-10, and then you guys can. You guys want mate in threes, or you want to keep going with mate in twos?
I don't know. Mate in threes might be easier.
We'll do mate in threes.
Actually, we'll just do one more mate in two. Can we do one more mate in two and then do mate in three?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and do this problem.
Okay.
This one actually, this one seems pretty easy.
Oh yeah, we just move the pawn. We just move
Pawn
the
to
pawn.
h7. Pawn to
Pawn,
h7.
pawn 8-7. Pawn 8-7.
8-7, and then pawn to h8. Yeah, you queen, and it's checkmate. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do some mate in threes. So checkmate in three. Find a. I think I have it. Yeah, I think I have the checkmate.
Is it knight to f7?
No, it's not knight to f7.
But would the first move be rook to h3?
Nope.
Yeah, definitely rook to h3. Probably rook to h3.
I actually don't think it would be rook to h3 because I personally think the move is queen to h5. Because what that does is, right, queen to h5 is the correct move, right? Yeah, queen to h5. Because that forces the king to move backward, and then you go queen here.
Oh yeah, couldn't when the queen moved it there, couldn't like the king take it?
No, because yeah, but see what happens there. Well, let's go back to that. So I can't go back. But what would happen if the queen took like the king? Imagine if the king took, then it would be really fast. Because the rook would check here. That's
I can't hear you. May I think if you mute everyone, then I can hear you.
everybody go ahead and mute yourselves. Okay. So if we go back, I can't go back, but imagine the queen was here and the king was here. If the queen moved all the way here, okay, I went back. Okay, that's good then. So I can just go here. If the queen went here, then the king takes. Then I can go rook here, check, and that's checkmate because the king cannot go back, can't go here, and it can't go here because of the knight. Can't go here because of the pawn, and it can't go back because of the rook. So it'd be checkmate in 2 if you took. If you go back here, it would be checkmate in 3. So it's checkmate guaranteed, but really depends on how long you played out. Because here, because someone said this, it's not right. Because it's not forcing. You want every move to be forcing in checkmates. You don't want any passive moves. I know passive moves seem like it's like a guaranteed checkmate, but then the other person could pull up something to win. So you don't want that.
How is okay, yeah, I think this is mine. Alright, I think we might need to move first king to actually first we'd move I think the queen to somewhere. We first had to move the queen.
I don't think it's the queen. It's not the queen.
The king?
No, it's not the queen. It's black to move, guys. It's black to move.
Oh, it's black. So it's black to checkmate. Oh.
Yeah, you have to read it there. Yeah. It's black to checkmate.
So first we would move it. First we'd move the queen to e1. Then we would move it to e3, I think, right? Because
no, remember, we want all forcing moves. Queen to e1 is a completely passive move, and that also results in checkmate, I think.
wait, what if we move an what if we move f3 and h3? Like queen h3?
No. Because then you lose your bishop, right? So the correct move, in my opinion, is bishop g1 or bishop h1. I think bishop g1 is better because...
Wait, I know it. Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it might have been like bishop to that. Let's say we couldn't checkmate. If I couldn't checkmate, the best move would be bishop to what is it? Like d4. If we could not checkmate.
Yeah, d4. Yes, you do win the rook, but then you don't checkmate. So there's really no. I mean, you have an option to checkmate here. You don't want to lose that. So then king, queen, go queen to here, and then queen here. So we have about 10 more minutes. So we can get like maybe 5 or 6 problems.
Actually, after that, this one can we do checkmate in 1?
No, checkmate in 1's too easy for you guys. You guys are too smart for that.
Wait, isn't it already 5? Why aren't we doing the tournament?
Tournament starts at 5:10.
You can fork him.
Oh.
White can fork him.
Actually, I think
White
we
can
can.
fork black.
Wait, maybe that's how it wins.
White can move knight to G6.
Right?
That might be. Wait, yeah.
Knight to
After
G6.
then the king will take it. Then he moves it to the takes the rook, and then it moves, and I wonder what happens. Okay, yep.
Stole my thing.
So if you guys want, you can go ahead and log on to chess.com and join the peer-to-peer tournament, and just wait and I'll pull up another checkmate in 3. So go ahead and get on to chess.com.
Why can't we do a tournament on Elite Chess?
Because no, the problem with Lead Chess, like, just tell me, why do you guys like Lead Chess, or?
We like it because, like, the lead test, I think we like it. There's even this thing called, what is that? I forgot what you call it. There's this thing called, there's this thing called Berserk. That's one of the reasons. It's kind of easier. It's kind of better for some reason. It is. Most people.
And then chess.com, you only get to play 2 rounds.
We turned off all like special features and everything. Only like it's a regular arena tournament, and that's really nothing special, right? And since it's only arena, it's not good, right? We want actual like Swiss style tournaments, because that way you guys can get experience in playing real tournaments. Because how Elite Chess works is it just pairs you up with the next open person. That's not how normal tournaments work. Normal tournaments, you have to wait for everyone to finish, and then it'll pair you up with a person that has the same amount of points as you, and with like a similar range.
Yeah. The only problem everyone's having is the only thing is they're only like 2 rounds. That's the only problem. Or else I would use test.com. That's the only thing. It's the only problem is it's more than it only has 2 rounds.
More rounds though.
Yeah, well, if you want more rounds, then we're gonna have to start a bit earlier or stay a bit later. I mean, if you guys are fine with staying a bit later, then we can go more rounds. But we have to do that next week because the tournament's already set up for 2 rounds. So if you guys want, you guys can tell us and then we can put it up.
Maybe lead test for just this time. We don't want to do it all the time, but just for this time, can we do like lead test?
This is the last one.
Yeah.
Here, how about let's try and do Wii Chess next time. Since the tournament's already set up for today, we'll do chess.com, but we'll try to do Elite Chess next time.
Actually, I can create more rounds. I can create a new tournament right now if they want.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, if they're fine with that, then it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we want more rounds.
Yeah.
And since there are more rounds, I guess you could decrease the time control to maybe 5 minutes so that the rounds go by faster.
We're doing a tournament on Elite Chess.
Wait, how many rounds do you guys want?
3 is good.
Yeah, 3 is good.
Can we have 5?
Yeah.
So we can have more opponents.
Yeah,
Five
5 is good.
5 is like, I think it's too long, honestly. If you guys do 5, then the time control is gonna have to be like pretty short. It's gonna be 5.
We're all smart enough, so that
5 it has to
since
be like
we're all like super smart now, we could easily like do puzzles and stuff. People are gonna get checkmated easier. They're not gonna be any draws, so it might be like not too much time if we do 5. It's okay.
let's do 3.
3 to 5.
Can we do 5? After you do 3, you can leave. What's the problem? Okay, we still have the option to leave. So let's say you only want to do 3. Okay, after you do 3, you can leave if you really need to. But why can we not do 5? It's just 2 rounds extra. What's the problem?
Yeah.
No, please. Let's stick with 2.
I mean, maybe for you or like a few other people, you're fine, but then it's not for everybody, right? Some people have commitments after this. Like, say for me, I have to do homework after this, right? It's not like some days. I mean, maybe for you have free time, but and say that time instead of playing our tournament, you could just go on to chess.com or Live Chess and just join random tournaments and play, right? Or you could just play freelance games on those 2 websites, and you can get more games like that. You don't have to play out.
But then the people who have to leave, they can just leave.
Yeah, but then that would cause forfeiting. And then
Actually, someone's saying 4. Okay. So actually, I think we'll do 4 or 5 or 3.
We should do 3 to 5.
It's enough.
We're just gonna do 5.
Let's just do 3.
No, what if some people want to play more? You can leave. What's the
Why don't you
problem?
play more?
I'm okay with 3, 4, or 5.
if you guys want to play more, then just go on to chess.com like we told you.
Yeah.
Right? Just
Play.
go to chess.com or live chess and just play tournaments.
10 minutes.
No, we don't want to do that. We actually want to play with people we know from the same class. Like, that'd be cool.
What?
I mean, it
And
really
fun.
doesn't matter. Chess is not supposed to be about the person. It's supposed to be about the game, right? It's not how it works. But
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to play with some big stranger or something. Just saying, if we do play with like and someone we know, that is good, right?
so yeah, it's set to 3 rounds. So you guys are gonna have 3 rounds, and there's about 6 minutes left. So go ahead and get on as fast as you can. Yeah, Aditya posted the link in the chat. So go ahead and open that link, and you should be at the tournament. Just click join, and you'll. So we have 8 people. That's actually pretty good. That's even number, so that means everyone should be able to play some games. How many participants do we have? We have 12 minus me and Aditya. That makes 10. So yeah, 2 more people can join, and then we can automatically start the game. Yeah. I don't think you can start early, but we got about 5 minutes left. So. Okay, we have 9, so 1 more person. I'm just gonna...
There's 10 people. There's 10 people.
Okay, so that should be everybody, but I think we still have to wait for the timer to go down. Isn't that right, Aditya? Do we have to wait for the timer to go down, or can we start it earlier?
Yeah, I don't think I can change it.
Okay, yeah. So, just wait for him to, because by the time he changes it and you guys join, time will be like over. So, just wait a few minutes and it should start.